Hello everyone, welcome to GoWider Academics. In this video, I will explain the poem My Mother at 66. This poem is written by Kamla Das. The poet Kamla Das is also known by her pen name Madhavi Kutti. She was born in Kerala and is one of India's first poets. Her subject matter is basically related to her personality: beautiful, sensitive, bold, and tormented. External factors do not reflect in her writings. Her writings bring out her true inner feelings. Her favorite poem is Composition. In this poem, she talks about her mother. This poem is based on mother-daughter relation and the poet shares her feelings for her mother. First, I will tell you the summary of the poem. My Mother at 66 is a very touching poem written by Kamala Das. In this poem, she describes her feeling of love and attachment towards her aging mother. Now, I will read out the poem My Mother at 66. My Mother at 66. Driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday morning, I saw my mother beside me. Dozed, open mouth, her face ashen like that of a corpse, and realized with pain that she was as old as she looked. But soon put that thought away and looked out at young trees sprinting, the merry children spilling out of their homes. But after the airport security check, standing a few yards away, I looked again at her, pale as a late winter's moon, and felt that old familiar ache, my childhood's fear. But all I said was, "See you soon, Amma." All I did was smile and smile and smile. Now I will explain the poem. Firstly, when the poet is on her way to the Cochin airport with her old mother sitting beside her, she looks at her closely and presents before us her image. She compares her with a corpse. As she looks at her mother's pale and pallid face, she is struck with the horror and pain of losing her. The mother, with the dozing face and open mouth, is compared to a corpse. Here the poet shows the typical love and affection which is present in the mother-daughter relation. The poet is pained and shifts her attention outside the car in order to drive out the negative feelings. She changes her sad mood. The scene outside the window is of growing life and energy. The rapidly sprinting trees alongside the merrily playing children symbolize life, youth, and vitality. The poet here is reminded of her own childhood, when her mother had been young, whereas now she is encircled with the fear of losing her, and that has made her insecure. She is at the airport to take a flight. It indicates departure and separation, which creates melancholy. As she bids goodbye to her mother, the image of the old, wan, worn-out mother in the twilight of years strikes her again. Here again, a simile is used to compare her mother with the late winter's moon, whose light is obstacled by fog and mist. As she looks old now, her personality is affected by it. The poet is feeling the pain of separation, leaving her mother and going. Also, her childhood fear of losing her mother, which she feels that earlier was temporary but now could be forever as she could die of old age, is haunting her. She is so pained that it is natural for her to cry. But keeping a brave front, she hides her tears and smiles. She bids farewell to her mother and, keeping her hope of seeing her again alive, says, "See you soon, Amma." She hides her sorrow as she does not want to create a painful environment for her mother, and conveys her that as she is enjoying her life, similarly her mother should also be happy and enjoy her life. Thank you. Now, I will discuss figures of speech used in this poem. First is alliteration. Alliteration occurs in the title of the poem itself, My Mother. The M sounds gets repeated at the beginning of these words. As the consonant sound is repeated, it is also an example of consonance. Second, assonance. Home to Cochin. Now the O at the end too isn't pronounced as the O in home. It sounds like an unstressed called swa. Doors, open, action like that, looked but soon, trees, sprinting, merry children. So we can see many examples of assonance. Then third is simile. It occurs in the line, her face ashen like that of a corpse. I looked again at her wan, pale as a late winter's moon. Then fourth, personification. It occurs in young trees sprinting. The poet capitalizes the first letters of these words, young and trees. She does so by personifying the trees with the idea of being young and sprinting. The phrase also contains a personal metaphor, young. Then fifth, metaphor. There is an interesting metaphor in the line, the merry children spilling out of their homes. The energy and spontaneity of children are compared to a glass full of liquid. The glass or the container is their home, and the kids are the essence that fills their home with laughter and joy. Thank you.